Okay, this is my new 16-gallon aquarium. It's actually not a new aquarium, but I totally cleaned it up in preparation for a spawn. I had this gal right here. I knew she was female. She had tried to spawn in another tank. It was a community tank, and she was fighting. There was a lot of infighting going on. I didn't see her like pairing off with the male. And so I cleaned this aquarium like really good and let it set for a couple weeks until the, you got to let the good bacteria come back after you clean it. I had a lot of algae, and I killed all the algae with with regular chlorinated water. I let that run for a couple weeks, and then I introduced some new water from another tank where it has the beneficial bacteria. So then I moved her in here, and I was like, I've got to find her a male. This bloke right here, I picked right. I wasn't sure that he was male because you can't exactly tell the difference between males and females. Except whenever they are spawning, you can tell because the females, they will lay the eggs and they have a different shape. It's like a thing that lays the eggs is rounded, and the males is more pointed. Try to put it in a PG kind of way. So you can definitely tell the difference. It's called a propella or propella. Anyway, so I picked right. I did get another male, and he did a decent job of fertilizing the eggs. Not perfect though. You see all the white ones? All the white ones are the ones that are either not fertilized or for whatever reason they've died. But there's hundreds and hundreds of eggs there. And so there'll be hopefully a lot that survive, you know. What happens is first there are eggs like this. The parents will watch over them like hawks, and they fan them. They use their fins to fan them. And it keeps the mold or bacteria from growing on the eggs. And then you'll see a little tail pop out of the end of where the egg is, and they're called wigglers. And they'll be wigglers for a little while, and they have a yolk sac they're eating, you know, to get their nourishment from that. And then at some point they become swimmers. And that's the tricky part, is like, do you want to take them, separate them from the parents? You don't want to do it too soon, but a lot of times some of the parents are really good about not eating the babies, and some of the parents will eat the babies. And I think it's just they're confused. They're protecting the eggs, and then they see things swimming, and they think they're threats. And so they'll eat the threats. And some parents are really good, and actually they'll go gather up the babies that are swimming, and then in their mouth, and they'll spit them back. And they have like a little sticky part, like on their head, that attaches them back to the cone. In the wild, they wouldn't have a cone like this. They would use a leaf or a stick or something in the Amazon River. That's where these fish are originated from. But you can see him right now. He's just fanning them. And what that does is it keeps any kind of mold, or because sometimes the eggs will mold over, and then once the mold starts, it starts killing off other eggs, and there'll be less that live. So if I separated the eggs right now, it would be bad. I want to leave the parents with them as long as possible. And then as soon as they start swimming, I usually will catch them, and then I'll separate them and put the babies in a smaller holding tank that flips in this tank. So the parents can still see the babies, but they won't accidentally eat them. Or sometimes the babies will accidentally, you know, they'll swim down here and they'll just get stuck under a rock and they'll just die. I mean, they're like almost like lemmings. You know, they'll find a way to perish. So the best thing to do is put them in a little holding tank, and then they're all together and they can't get eaten by the parents, and they hopefully thrive. I've got another tank upstairs with about 2-month-old babies, and they're just now starting to get, well, it's been a month. They're starting to look like angelfish. When they first are swimming around, they look more like minnows. They don't have that classic angelfish shape. But as soon as they get to be about a month old or so, they'll start getting the fins, and hopefully they get nice fins. Like this guy right here, he's got just perfect fins. Beautiful. You know, not blue in there. He's got stripes. Most of the babies will probably end up being striped, even though the mom is the, she's like a gold color. She didn't have any stripes, but the stripes are a dominant gene. So most of the babies will be striped. And that's the actual natural look of the angelfish in the wild. They look more like him. They actually have a little darker stripes, and some of them have, instead of 3 stripes, they'll have 5. And they're called zebras. But he's just a regular striped angel. And you can tell, like, his colors, like if I tap the glass and he gets upset, his colors will go dark. See how he's getting darker? They don't like that. He sees it as a threat, and the colors. And then if I relax, I won't bother him anymore, then he'll lighten up. So I don't do that very often. Most of the time, I try to be as careful as possible. And maybe, you know what? You guys probably need a little bit of food, huh? I've been doing baby watching, egg duty. So there you go. Have you a snack. Mama, go get you a snack. She will. He eats more than she does, for sure. But she'll go snag her some here in a minute. So one comes near her. There she goes. She just ate one. Nope, she got another one. But I just picked these 2 pairs. I wasn't sure if it was a male and a female. You know, you got about a 50-50 shot at picking the right fish to put together. And I hit it, you know. And if I have some good babies and I grow them up, then I have a place in Denton that I can trade. A really nice guy at Fish and Chirps, because most of the franchise fish stores will not buy fish from amateur breeders like myself, because they have a contract with a fish breeder, so it kind of cuts me out. But this guy, he owns his own store, and so sometimes it depends on how big they are. He'll give me a really good deal, and most of the time I just end up getting our dog food. You know, I give him like 10 really good angels, and he gives me a bag of, you know, $50 bag of dog food. Like this guy right here. If I took him this guy, he would be really happy. He loves them, you know, when they're really big, because they can sell them for about $20 a piece. But it takes a while for them to get that big. And it's not really a money-making way to make money. People who make money breeding angels, they have ponds in Florida, and they grow them that way. Trying to do it like I'm doing it, it's, you know, it's just a hobby. But it's a fun hobby. And I enjoy it, and I like breeding the different ones together and see what kind of different color combinations I can get and stuff. Anyway, it's a really long video, so I'll let y'all go.